Welcome back to the F1 2017 career mode. This is part number 36 and it's season 2 for the Japanese Grand Prix. The engine supplier's home race, the Mclaren Honda. We have a sponsor bonus and a chassis upgrade. So things are going alright in our little world. So we are going to be using that lovely sponsor bonus to allow us to get a little drag upgrade for the car, because that's now the focus. Obviously, we've got as much engine power as we can possibly get from the R&D, so now we need to work on the downforce and the chassis weight to get the extra speed out of the car. Obviously, drag will help us in the straight lines, but obviously the chassis weight and everything else will be our cornering speed, which, as I discussed quite heavily in Malaysia, is where the car is starting to lack. Obviously, we're up there in terms of engine power, but now we just need to really focus on the car's performance in the corners. I'm really thinking about actually going into like tyre wear. I think that could be a huge one for us, especially if we're doing the one stop, and maybe even fuel economy. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do for the Season 3 upgrades as of yet. I have been sort of, thinking about what I want to do. You can see they're wrestling the car through the intermediate conditions in practice, and there we go. I then decided, you know what, we'll take a fuel efficiency upgrade, because I do find that the car is very thirsty indeed. But here we go, qualifying for the Japanese Grand Prix. This car is awesome to drive through this first sector. Just chuck it in the first corner, 200 miles an hour, let it drift out wide, bring it down to around 95, then take it for turn 2 and up through the S section on the super soft tyres. Like I've said before earlier this season, this car is absolutely awesome to drive on low fuel through sectors just like this. I can only imagine what like a Mercedes or a Ferrari would be like to drive in like the Season 5 variation of it, with all the downforce and the chassis upgrades. But there we go, Degner 1 just committed, taking a big old chunk of curb. Degner 2 taking a little bit too much for my liking, drifting the car out wide just ever so slightly. Then we come up to the chicane. As soon as the track straightens out, on the brakes for the chicane, bring it in. I always suffer on traction just here, and I managed to catch the curb annoyingly, so that meant that my traction was a little bit delayed as we head down now toward the spoon curve, building up now through the gears. We're looking for that 100 metre board, passing it just before the 50 metres. And now we go down through the gears, through the second part of spoon, caught the curb annoyingly. That put the back end out, and that meant that going forwards down the straight, we lost a little bit of speed as Bottas goes fastest there. Where are we going to be in comparison to the Mercedes man? We are going to be nearly 2 seconds off, but we're flat through 130R, 195 miles an hour as we hit the brakes for the final chicane, rode the curb a little bit. That cost me a little bit of speed, and then the back end started to slide through the chicane, through a traction zone, and then we're down the hill once again to come across the line. What time is it? It's a 1:30.841 of the current people who had set a lap time. That put us slowest, but it wasn't too bad. It was mid-pack, which I'll take over the 18th that we are in Malaysia. So naturally we're going out again, even more committed, even more focused. Annoyingly, for the first sector we were just under a tenth down, but I realised there was room to make up the time. Not through the Degners, however. I cost myself a bit of time by running wide, and then we come up to Spoon. You can see it there that the time is very similar. However, it's more through this part of Spoon and the end of the lap where we're going to gain the time. You can see it there, I ran wide, but that of course is going to allow me to build up the time as we go down this straight and through 130R. Hopefully we can carry more speed than we did before. We're nearly a tenth up, keep it tighter through 130R, clip the curb just a tiny bit, and now we've just got to be neat and tidy through the chicane. We went wider of the curb this time around, took a big old chunk of it on the exit. The delta shoots up to over 3/10 improvement. We come across the line and it's P10. It's not awful. It's not awful. Like I've said, qualifying is not my strong suit. By the end of the session, it is P11, but that's perfect. I don't mind starting 11th because it means we are the highest possible position with a free choice of tyre for the race. So that is just excellent for me. We were a good few tenths off Ocon, but we're quite nicely ahead of the guys behind us. So once again, it's the mighty one stop. I thought about it, and then I lie. It's the 2 stop we're going to run, because I feel as if a bigger benefit for me throughout this race is going to be having superior grip in the early phases of my stints, and apparently on paper it's only 3 seconds slower. So I want to see how we fare with a 2-stop strategy, because we run the 1 stop so frequently. I wanted to mix it up a little bit, and I figured Japan, a circuit I enjoy driving, a circuit that benefits from having fresher tyres on more often than not, is going to be the perfect track for us to try and pull out and see what we can do on a two-stop strategy. So we're going to go soft, super soft, soft. That's the plan. Let's see how that fares, as we of course have a mighty battle in the midfield. Alonso is P5 as he got promoted due to a grid drop. So let's see what's going to happen with 5 lights at Japan. Lights are out and away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix. We bogged down horrifically off the start, and Verstappen has launched off like a rocket ship. He is immediately tussling up with the front runners. We're going to take it really cautious, try and duck underneath. Don't want anyone running wide, swiping into us there. We took a lot of curb, and that allows Verstappen to get through. We're going to line up to go down the inside of the left-hander. Verstappen still there on our right, but I think we've just about managed to pull ahead of him. The 2 Force Indias are side by side as Perez has dropped down the field at that starting point. He's lost out to a couple of guys. Alonso has retained his 5th place. Hulkenberg has managed to go up there a little bit, but he ran a little bit wide there. He's now going to push the 2 Force Indias back ever so slightly as we come through the Degners for the first time. We're just trying to take it easy, not run into the back of any of them. Thought about maybe a half look into Degner 2, not really anything doing, but we come up to the chicane on the first lap. Big dive bomb on the brakes. We just missed the back of the Renault car, just inches from destroying our front wing. And Perez, actually, due to that absolute dive bomb move, was able to get past his teammate Esteban Ocon, but then on the run down to Spoon, we're side by side with the Force India. Can we hold the move round the outside? We've braked earlier. Perez has caught us on our back tyre and we've dropped him, and that was completely accidental. I did not mean to screw Sergio Perez in that way. I thought I'd left him the room. Anyway, we now come on to lap 2. We've got a car, it's Sebastian Vettel with an issue just there. I'm not too sure what's going on with him. He's got a right rear puncture as well, very similar to Sainz from the Malaysian Grand Prix, only this is on lap 2. I'm not too sure what's going on with these super soft tyres, but anyway, it backed Alonso and Hulkenberg up. We've got the superior exit out of Spoon, and we're going to charge down the inside of Nico Hulkenberg, and we should be able to take him into 130R, before 130R as a matter of fact. So we are now up into 5th place. Our next target on the road is Fernando Alonso. The top 3 have disappeared off into the distance, and now I think it's mano a mano, same equipment with the teammates. Let's see what we can do. Come lap 5, Alonso is still in our sights. We've not had the best run through the chicane, and I've brimmed the car fat with fuel because I want to utilise rich mix as much as possible. I figured that using a lot of newer tyres, we're going to need to be running in a higher fuel mix more often than not. And we both managed to pull away quite nicely from Esteban Ocon. So it was almost as if, you know, we had the front 3 and then we were kind of running our own race. I mean, Alonso had the speed on the first stint due to being on the super softs. He now dives in at the end of lap 7. That allows us to carry on. We're going to aim to pit around lap 9 or 10 due to the pit stops of Hamilton as well. We've jumped up into 3rd place. Bottas and I believe Raikkonen are up the road ahead of us there. And as we come through to finish up lap 8, as we are down in the mid-35s, the tyres were starting to drop off a little bit. You can see Raikkonen had a monster of a first stint. He's actually managed to come out just behind us there. He's on the soft tyre as well, so that would indicate obviously a very much a 2-stop. I don't know if you do the super softs at the start, if it is then possible to 1-stop around here. But Kimi on the rampage. By the end of lap 9, he has just cruised up behind us on those soft tyres. We've made a mistake through Spoon, just car understeering, and then Raikkonen decides to pretty much just barge us out of the way. I tried to carry as much speed as possible just through the second part of the corner, and you can see here we duck into the slipstream of Kimi Raikkonen. We can come in this time around if we want to, but let's see what happens as we just utilise the slipstream of the Ferrari. Are we going to try and make the dive bomb move? The answer is no. I was very tempted for a split second to make the dive bomb on the Ferrari. We are in fact going to come in, a very late decision to come in on this lap. I was debating about leaving it another lap, but then I figured that actually just was counterproductive against the strategy that I was running. So we come in, end of lap 9, we've done a couple more laps, done Fernando Alonso. We're going to fit on the super soft tyre for this middle stint. Where is Alonso? That's the question, because we're racing him today. That is our objective. See, Grosjean goes past. Here comes Wehrlein down the straight, and he has Alonso behind him on another set of super soft tyres. So that means Alonso is going to need, if he wants to do a 2-stop, he's going to need to go long on a set of soft compound tyres at the end, whereas we now can just rip the shit out of these super soft tyres, and we can then run soft tyres at the end. And you can see here Wehrlein doing a fantastic job of holding up Fernando for us. Just Alonso not able to get past him on lap 10. and not be able to utilise those tyres. So we now have used the extra fuel load that I've got, and of course the extra grip of the super soft tyres. Admittedly, you know, kind of running our own line through spoon there, I must admit. But that's allowed us to actually re-catch up to Fernando. Kimi Raikkonen's in the high 31s now, so Raikkonen just completely in a league of his own by the looks of things. Alonso just not able to make the move on Pascal Wehrlein in a straight line through to 130R. I think that speaks volumes. I believe it's still glitched, but we go down the inside of both cars into the chicane. That was a move from... hell, I forgot I made that move. That was actually genuine shock. Of just, yeah, throwing it down the inside from a long way back. I mean, the move on Alonso was bold enough, but to get both of them, you can see there we pushed Wehrlein wide. That allowed Alonso to get through. But what I was saying just before that move went through, is I believe it's still glitched, and Alonso specifically isn't getting the power upgrade. So his car has like been tweaked in terms of like chassis and downforce. So that's why you see him perform better on more chassis-based circuits. Rather than sort of power tracks. You can see there as I was explaining that, we got past Stroll, and that's actually put Stroll between myself and Alonso. Grosjean pits, Massa's also in the pit, so both him and Ocon have had a similar strategy. Ocon went from super softs to medium tyres, Massa's gone from soft to medium tyres, so both of them are running the one stop. You saw Alonso trying to get past Stroll into turn 1, he hasn't quite managed it, and now we've got Carlos Sainz in the pits. He is also going from the soft tyre, I would believe, to the medium. It's lap 13. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to do a multiple stop strategy from that point. But here we go. End of lap 15. With everything all sort of shaken out, everyone having made their pit stops, Alonso had caught up to the back of us, and he's now in the pits for his final pit stop. So that means he's going to go to a set of soft tyres and have to take those 13 laps. So now we just had to get the hammer down and go as fast as possible. I was due to come in at the end of lap 17, but I decided there that an additional lap was going to be not very beneficial in my race against Alonso. So I made the decision there to come in at the end of lap 16. I did a bit of fuel saving on that lap as well. So with the undercut and the fuel saving, Alonso's going to be very close to us. He's probably going to be ahead of us due to where he came in. Massa and Ocon go through on their medium tyres. That's understandable. Sainz goes through on the medium, so we've got to pass them on track. And there is Alonso. So yes, he has got ahead of us with that undercut strategy and me saving fuel. But that now means the gap is now smaller than what it would have been. If I had done an additional lap on those super softs, the gap would have been smaller. Now granted, he could have caught Sainz and been held up a little bit, but that's the decision I made there and then. I didn't quite know his track position. But now it's a straight fight on circuit. I have fresher tyres, more power, and we both have traffic in the way. So let's see who the better driver is as we drive hard to the finish of the Japanese Grand Prix in Season 2. The gap is 2.7 seconds. We come to the start of lap 19. Alonso has caught Carlos Sainz. We have just destroyed whatever fuel we had left. We are now in the minus of fuel, and we now move into lap 19. Sainz in 6th. The Williams and Massa in 5th. Ocon in 4th. And you can see it there that the medium tyre runners are just backing up into us slowly. And by lap 19, I've finally caught up to the back of Alonso and Sainz to be able to have a go, maybe have some DRS down the main straight. Let's see what happens as we go to minus 0.2 laps of fuel. Unfortunately there, Sainz is moving across. Is Alonso going to be able to make the move all the way around side of turn 1? No, he can't. He backs out of it. Fernando, thought you would have made that move, man. So we'll be using the first sector to save fuel at this point in the Grand Prix, and it was meaning that we were a bit slower, but then it did mean we had the rich mix available to us to try and catch up. You can just see the dirty air effect through spoon is not helping us. In fact, Daniel Ricciardo, on a similar strategy to ourselves, is now caught up to us, and we're now going to have to be looking in our mirrors as much as we are looking ahead of us on the road as Alonso goes down the inside of 130R versus Carlos Sainz side by side. Can we make a move into the final chicane? Another double overtake. Yes, please. Sainz able to keep it in there more than Wehrlein was. He pushes us out wide. Sainz manages to maintain the position for now, and Sainz comes across the track. We're on the outside. DRS open, forced onto the grass. But we stay side by side with the Toro Rosso as we charge towards turn 1. Alonso now makes it 3 wide going into the first right-hander. Who is going to make the move? Stick, it's us! All the way around the outside of the Toro Rosso and the McLaren. Alonso still wasn't able to make the move. I need to see a replay because, Jesus Christ, that was so close to a catastrophic accident as we pull across the move. That reminds me of Kimi Raikkonen making the move round the outside of Giancarlo Fisichella on the final lap of the 2005 Japanese Grand Prix for him to win from 17th place. What a Grand Prix that was, but it's not over yet. We still have to try and catch Ocon and Massa, and because we've been fighting other guys, it has meant that Sainz is able to have another go at us. We've lost that time to those cars ahead. Sainz pulls ahead of us, then locks up into turn 2. That's pushed him out wide and actually cost him a few seconds. He has managed to maintain position, though, over Daniel Ricciardo and Fernando Alonso. I was kind of hoping at that point that was going to be me dealt with them, and I could just focus on the cars ahead of me. But no, Danny Rick managed to get his way through the traffic and annoy me, going down the inside of 130R on lap 24. We're defending on the inside to the final chicane. Daniel Ricciardo's AI, perfectly programmed with the ridiculously late braking, locked it up, wasn't able to get through. He's actually cost himself a little bit of time there, but that's not too much of an issue as we now finish that lap. And like I say, I think it's less now a matter of catching Massa and Ocon and more defending from the Red Bull. So can he do it again? Once again, down the inside of 130R. He hasn't been able to be close enough this time around, so he's not going to be able to make a move on us. And we there just take big old chunks of curb as we go through the chicane. Daniel Ricciardo, though, going to be very focused. He's in the slipstream. I don't know if he's got extra fuel, but he's definitely got DRS as we go into turn 1. The Red Bull flies past us. What's Ricciardo going to do when he gets there? He's going to close the DRS and slow down. That's what he's going to do. Very perplexing move by the AI. Apparently, we just had a collision with Ricciardo there, so I don't know if he tried to have a go at us and we moved across and tapped his front wing, but you can see their Sainz is causing a bit of a train up behind him. So we're not really being worried with them. It's now, we've beaten Alonso to the flag at this juncture, really, so it's now a straight fight between us and Daniel Ricciardo for 6th position here on the Japanese Grand Prix. We've been defending strongly so far, but Danny Rick now comes charging down the inside once again on the final lap of the Japanese Grand Prix, and once again he backs out of it. I don't know if he maybe saw me go around the outside of Sainz and Alonso and realising, actually, no, I don't want any part of that into turn 1. But now we've got to try and save fuel through the first part of the lap. But you can just see the car floaty and sliding as the tyres have been wearing out. This is what I was referencing in Malaysia. That's why I kind of want to focus on, obviously, downforce and tyre, where Kimi Raikkonen wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Like I said, he was going to earlier on, just in a complete league of his own. Yeah, we're 5.3 behind Massa. We've had a horrible run through Degner too, actually. That's allowed Daniel to have a brilliant run on us. We go defensive. He's now got to the outside of the chicane. We're going to brake late. Too late, as a matter of fact. We've run it out far too wide. Ricciardo's able to duck underneath us and get superior traction in the Red Bull car. And we've potentially thrown away 6th place. Let's see if we can hold on to him through this final lap. We're getting a bit of a slipstream effect through here, but now we have to have the dirty air through Spoon, and Ricciardo's built quite a bit of a gap over us due to that one really frustrating mistake through the second part of Spoon. Just can't get the power down, and Ricciardo, a wise old hand, considering his age, has completely done us there, where I've tried to brake far too late into the hairpin, and Ricciardo has not been able to pass us. I mean, obviously, on merit, clearly able to pass us, but that was set up by my mistake through the second Degner and just getting a horrible run. So Ricciardo beats us to the flag, but in the inter-team battle, we beat Alonso and we get 7th place.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Kimi Raikkonen then wins the Japanese Grand Prix, 10 seconds back to Lewis Hamilton. Bottas in 3rd. Ocon with the more impressive one stop over Massa, because he went from super softs to mediums. Massa, though, coming from 13th in the stretch. Ricciardo from 17th to 6th. A brilliant drive from him. We come from 9th. Sainz 8th. Verstappen 9th. Alonso gets 10th in the end. He just dropped off at the end there. We finished over a minute off the lead. Vettel had a hell of a race there. He just got completely ruined at the start of the Grand Prix. So Raikkonen jumps me for 3rd in the Drivers' Championship there. He manages to pull 15 points ahead of me, so that's going to be a bit of pill to swallow. So we now have to try and claw that back if we can. Obviously, 3rd was never my aim at the start of Season 2, but as the season's gone on, that's just sort of where we've ended up with our through 2, 3. I can't even remember how many wins we've got at this, but 2 wins. Sorry, 2 wins. We won in Canada and in Baku. No, we won at Belgium, so 3 wins. My apologies. I'm all over the place. But yeah, that has been the Japanese Grand Prix. Tried the two-stop. We still gained from our grid position, but at the end of the day, it wasn't really too much of a gain. What could I have done with a one-stop? Maybe fourth. I definitely clearly wasn't touching the top three by any stretch of the imagination. Leave a like if you did enjoy this video, and of course, please remember to comment your feedback down below. I do really appreciate those comments, just reading those, telling me what I can do to improve. Remember to subscribe and enable that little notification to be informed of when all the lovely content comes to the channel. And I will see you all next time.